Hey guys, check it out. You're watching Jonathan Clarke on YouTube. Oh no. For those of you who have always believed that life is sweeter when you are, it really is. And don't you ever forget it. I hate these other podcasts that tell you that life is not sweeter when you are, dreams never come true, happily ever after doesn't exist, because it does. And that's why I'm happy each and every one of you are here. Check out the strobe lights, check out the Disney characters behind me. This is a very fun YouTube channel, and I have never wanted to take away the possibility of forever existing happily ever after being real and fairy tale characters coming to life. So if you wanted to find someone who loved Descendants and zombies as much as each and every one of you love Disney, you've come to the right place and you've found the right guy, because I will never let you down. I'll give you my word on that. Some of you may hold me to that word, but I have taken great pride in this YouTube channel. I have dedicated my life to sitting behind a podcast microphone and being on a podcast as its host and conveying positive messages, because I believe, I don't know about you guys who are new here, but I believe there is never enough kindness spread in this world and in this lifetime, and that's what we should use our lifetimes, no matter how long we are here on this earth, on this planet, to spread more kindness, because there are never enough people in this world who need kindness in their life. And that's why I post very nice messages on my Facebook wall every day. For those of you who subscribe to me on Facebook or subscribe to me on my YouTube channel, I make a consistent habit of posting something really nice on my Facebook page to remind you that life is definitely worth living, and there is never enough kindness spread in it. Ultimately, that became my message as a podcaster 20 years ago. It still is to this very day. And I recorded thousands of podcasts. And I found a new audience. I've really come into my niche as the voice of Descendants and Zombies, really the voice of Descendants, because I fell in love with characters of Kylie Cantrell, Duff Cameron, Sophia Carson, Mila Baker, Ruby Rose Turner, whom I'm going to miss dearly in the Descendants franchise. I don't know how they can tell a story without Rube. She is gorgeous. Her message was very powerful, very strong. I have never seen a more stronger girl portray a character like Ruby Rose Turner has been able to do, and so effectively. The same thing can be said about Kylie Cantrell, but can we please leave Kylie Cantrell's political point of view out of the conversation? It breaks my heart every single time that she has to talk about her political point of view. So what if she's not a Trump supporter? There are a lot of people like her who aren't a Trump supporter. I've never been a Trump supporter in my life. I don't really agree with a lot of the decisions the president has made, but I think we should leave it out of the conversation. And I don't think we should ever forget the contributions of a star like Ruby Rose Turner. Although her reign in the Descendants cast was very short-lived, I think there was more of an opportunity for Ruby to create, and her moment to shine could never be more brighter than it is right now. Leaving the Descendants franchise is one way to look at it, but there is no one saying that she's not going to make a return. I think we're just drawing a conclusion when it comes to Ruby Rose Turner, definitely foreshadowing what lies ahead for the girl that could play Rapunzel in the live-action Rapunzel Tangled, which apparently has reportedly been put on hold after Snow White's flop in the box office. I did go see Snow White theatrically. I thought it was a beautiful movie, and really I was the only guy doing Disney commentaries, doing a podcast, who used his voice to find anything good to say about the Snow White live-action remake. I don't ever tell anybody what they want to hear. I tell everybody what I believe they should hear. And I believe that there is never enough kindness in this world. If I believe a movie like Snow White was a good movie, I'm going to tell you that it was a good movie. If I believe that Descendants and Zombies were beautiful movies with beautiful messages to their core, then I will never lie to you, because they are movies with beautiful messages to their core. And 781 hours of stream time on Disney Plus definitely has illustrated that for us when it comes to Descendants, and over 250 million hours plus on Disney Plus for the Zombies franchise, which are getting a new installment this summer, which I'm really excited about. Kind of downhearted about, because I won't be a vampire slayer in Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, because of my history with vampires and hunting in the nighttime. Always had a thing for that. Vampires coming at you from the right, vampires coming at you from the left. Same thing with zombies. You really got to, have your eyes open in the nighttime. It's really dark out there. It's really easy to get lost in the woods. There's woods behind my house. Very beautiful, but you can very easily get lost in it. I've also had this desire to make you laugh. If I couldn't make milk come out of your nose, then I didn't really see the purpose of me being fulfilled. I've always wanted to have a fun perspective on life, a very different perspective from life than a lot of podcasters out there had. I noticed on a lot of the Meg Donnelly interviews that she did for a lot of the media, whether it be Fox, whether it be some podcasts you had never heard tell of, she always asked the podcaster, how did they get into podcasting? I'd love for Meg Donnelly to ask me that, because 25 years ago, I sat behind a podcast microphone in my mom's basement. It wasn't very big, but she allowed me to produce a podcast in her basement before I had the opportunity to do a lot of syndicated shows online. I thought my podcast was going nowhere. I thought it was really shit. And a lot of people said that my show was shit. But each and every one of you, 25 years later, after thinking my show sucked, brought it back to life. So if there are people out there that I should be thanking, it is each and every one of you who have given me the honor and the privilege of sitting behind this podcast microphone for over 25 years, and more recently over the past year, accumulating over 3,000 subscribers, a milestone that I never thought I would get to. You know, in this lifetime, we lose a lot of people. I've had a lot of people that I've loved that I've lost over the years. I'm going through a lot of pain. But each and every one of you brought me back from seemingly obscurity, and I have each and every one of you who have been by my side forever to thank. The loyal Descendants fans, the fans who can never seem to spread enough kindness in this lifetime, who are learning and being inspired, feeling inspired by characters of the portrayal of Ruby Rose Turner as Bridget, Kylie Cantrell as Red, Mila Baker as Chloe Charming, Dove Cameron as Mel, Sophia Carson as Evie, who had no backstory whatsoever but could somehow bring a character to life in a way that nobody else ever could. Let me just say this, if you had an entirely different cast with the original Descendants and we went all retro, we would never have had a cast as effectively or as powerful as the original Descendants cast. I was a big fan of Sophia Carson. A lot of people never gave her enough credit. That was her first big movie. And then she went from that to doing a lot of Netflix projects. I'm subscribed to Netflix, but the funny thing is I've never watched a Sophia Carson project outside of Descendants or a Dove Cameron project outside of Descendants. I probably should. Liv and Maddie was the show that I fell in love with because of Dove Cameron. I broke my arm. I felt really screwed up more times than enough watching Liv and Maddie because I wanted to make it home for special episodes of Liv and Maddie. I was like all of you. I thought Dove Cameron was an incredibly talented actress with an incredibly bright future ahead of her. The thing that really got me about Dove Cameron, though, was a lot of people said, you quit on your career. Never gave her a chance. Let me just say this. The Metamorphosis of Dove Cameron in Part 2 of Alchemical, absolutely beautiful. Too Much, the lead signal. I saw that on Late Night Talk Show. I think it was Jimmy Fallon a couple of weeks back. And she did a phenomenal performance. Everybody gave her a standing ovation. She was very deserving of it. And then you go on Kylie Cantrell's Facebook fan page, her website, KylieCantrell.com, MegDonnelly.com, and they're all putting out EPs. Meg Donnelly's EP comes out in July, around the same time that Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires will drop. I'm thinking about pre-ordering my own copy. I'm also thinking about pre-ordering Too Much off of DoveCameron.com. She's got some concert dates up there on her official website, and I'm really excited to see where she goes from there. And the Worlds Collide Tour kicking off in July. I'm really excited about that. I'll be covering it for you on this podcast, so if you have not rang my bell, you're probably going to want to do that. I will not be attending the Zombies Descendants Worlds Collide Tour. I wish I was. Probably somebody watching this already has their tickets. If you do, I'm happy for you, and I hope that you have a good time. The one thing about these Descendant stars is they are so full of life. They are so vibrant. They are so exuberant, and that's why I fell in love with the franchise. I don't think there has been a more successful franchise on Disney Channel since High School Musical, which they're considering producing High School Musical 4, Camp Rock 3. I've seen a lot of teasers that are dropping on Facebook. I don't know if we should believe it, but I think the chances of it happening are very, very real. I never want to discourage anybody from ever seeing what they want or getting out of Descendants or Zombies. Like a lot of the podcasts out there that you watch, definitely put in the back of your mind, making you believe that Descendants and Zombies is over. Let me just say this. I've read a lot of books. There are 9 books to the Descendants franchise. I've never read any of them, but I would love the opportunity to read them. I can't find them. Probably they're online. I'll probably have to order them. But with 9 books to the Descendants franchise, that just is a true testament to how powerful of a message this franchise has tried to convey about bullying, about standing up for your dreams. And I have never wanted to take that away from anybody. We always wanted to know what happened to Mel, what happened to Evie, what happened to Carlos, what happened to Jay. And I think that we are going to hear more about this as time goes on, because there's always an opportunity to create off of Descendants with the dolls, with the books, with every bit of merchandise you can think of, but also in the movies with a budget. It is just absolutely incredible how far this franchise has come, but I don't know how. For the life of me, you can tell a story without Ruby Rose Turner. She is someone who I fell in love with. She ultimately became my favorite Descendants character. Why, you may ask? Because she was so bubbly. She was so vibrant. She was so strong. And she was so dedicated to what she did and what she believed in. You know, in theater, one thing that I really learned and took away from it all the years that I was a theater kid was that you really had to believe your character. And you always had to inspire other people to be a part of the theater business or to create YouTube, which is one of the reasons why I created this YouTube channel, to inspire a lot of people to create their own Descendants and Zombies YouTube channels. And I like to believe, thankfully, I did it. This show hasn't been around that long, but it has accumulated a lot of subscribers, and I hope the subscriber count keeps accumulating on this YouTube channel, because that's what I want to get from this YouTube channel. That's what I want you to take away from it, is this channel believes in you just as much as you believe in the content. You know, you're probably asking yourself, do you really believe? Sure, I believe in zombies. I think it is a beautiful franchise. I still think there is a long way to go with zombies. I have always had a love for supernatural characters. I've always wanted to hunt vampires in the nighttime, drive a silver bullet through a werewolf's heart. Any opportunity that I could ever get to learn about that, I took it. Every opportunity I got to learn about theater, I also took that. You know, one of my favorite times of the year was always Halloween. I do spooky shows on YouTube every year, so I'm hoping to have the opportunity to put something together special for each and every one of you. And I find it really exuberating that I live 5 minutes out the road from a soda plantation that could explode at any given moment and I could die. Stop laughing. You don't know how to live until you live 5 minutes away from a soda plantation that could explode, and to make matters worse, a chemical plant that Homer Simpson does not work at. Yeah. I also remember seeing shows like Raven's Home, Gabby Duran and the Unsittables. That was one of the first major roles that Kylie Control got. Her dad played a hand in a lot of her success. Her YouTube channel was produced and got over 500,000 subscribers in less than a year. Not a million, but almost there. She's got 1 million now. Beautiful, beautiful girl. 480,000 subscribers on Facebook. I think she could have a whole lot more than what she has. I just want to put it out there. If you have not subscribed to Kylie Control, Ruby Rose Turner, Mila Baker, go to their social media platforms and do just that. Show the love and support that you've always had for them. That's how dedicated of a podcaster I am. I tell you to subscribe to other people and not me. I just kind of hope that you're going to subscribe to this YouTube channel, because I love Ruby Rose Turner. Breaks my heart how she had a crush on Justin Bieber for forever. The only thing Justin Bieber is going to do when he finds out she doesn't have a TV is take her to Best Buy, buy her a TV that's really expensive, take it home and set it up for her. And ultimately, I've wanted something more greater out of life for Ruby Rose Turner. So I just want to put it out there, Rube. If you want to achieve something better out of life, your time in Descendants is up for now. I would love to have the opportunity to meet you and experience you for who you are, just as I would all the Descendants cast members. There are a lot of beautiful scenes that could be shot for Descendants movies here in Newfoundland. I would take you to every single scene that I could think of, and you could shoot Descendants 6, because these fans deserve a great, great movie. And I think a lot of you have been let down more times than enough with the critics online, and I just wanted to give you something special to believe in, and I like to believe that I did that. Years ago, I wanted to create something special for everybody. I really hope that you didn't think my YouTube channel was horrible and you would hit the subscribe button. I really wanted to separate my YouTube show from every other YouTube creator out there on the internet. We've had a lot of fun on this YouTube channel. You have seen me drink banana-flavored smoothies. You have seen me drink coffee and eat donuts on the podcast, but I do it because I know it's going to make you laugh. You have seen me talk about Shrek on this podcast. You've heard me talk about Hannah Montana, which is a Waverly Place, zombies, Meg Donnelly, and for the life of me, I don't know how she can fall in love with a character like Zed from Zombies, because I always wanted to be Addison's love interest in that movie. I think Meg Donnelly is an incredible actress. She is such an inspiration. She really encourages us to never give up on what we believe in life. And she always raises awareness for everybody struggling with mental health, which is something that I have a lot of respect for somebody to do, because it takes a lot of courage to stand in front of a microphone and talk about your own experiences on a podcast and inspire others to seek help when you need it. So I want to send a special thank you out to Meg Donnelly for that. And let me just say this, 1 million subscribers on Facebook, X, Instagram, not enough. To Dove Cameron's 45,000, or 45 million rather, she has. I think the Descendants franchise is definitely one of the strongest ever in the world. I must have watched the Rise of Red 100 times. And I'm not joking, literally 100 times I've watched it. I think every night within the first month of the release of the movie, I fell asleep watching it. I've always had a desire to want to drive a side-by-side through a rabbit hole and drink a frozen lemonade while I'm doing it, but I never had the opportunity to actually attempt that yet. Hunt vampires in the nighttime, you ask? Yeah, I've been doing it for forever. That's how I make a living. Outside of that, I play video games all day when I'm not hosting this podcast. So I don't really have much of a life. So being a vampire slayer in Dawn of the Vampires was something I always wanted to do. I was always a theater kid. You know, I had a hand in producing stage productions such as Hamlet, Romeo and Juliet, and Midnight Summer's Dream, which was an incredibly difficult one to produce. And I just wanted an opportunity to kind of get back into acting. I haven't done anything since my days on Buffy the Vampire Slayer back in 1997. And you don't know how much an incredible loss is until you lose one of your best friends, who was one of the actors on Buffy the Vampire Slayer as an extra vampire. His name was Scott Schwartz. Lost him last year. And heartbroken over it. So, kind of want to get back into the swing of things. If you could hit the subscribe button, I would really appreciate it. Stop laughing. You know, one of the things about being an extra in Hollywood, I'll tell you a little secret, one of the funnest things to do is die, because you know your time is up. So when Ruby was making her exit at Descendants, one thing that you can rest assured, she was happy she was leaving. She was probably sad when they cut and the bell rang, but she was happy she was leaving because her destiny with Descendants had been fulfilled, even though she was only a part of one installment. But that doesn't mean we won't see her again. I want to throw out a couple of suggestions for Ruby Rose Turner. Tinkerbell, Rapunzel, Sleeping Beauty's daughter. There are so many opportunities to create with Sleeping Beauty, Rapunzel, Tinkerbell, and you can get that at Ruby Rose Turner. I just threw some ideas your way for Ruby Rose Turner to reprise roles or come back as a different character in Descendants. You can't tell me you can't rewrite Bridget into the cast. I mean, Ruby is the spitting image of Rapunzel. She's the spitting image of Sleeping Beauty Aurora. She's the spitting image of Tinkerbell. You know, I've always heard about how Reese Witherspoon is always in the conversation to play Tinkerbell, but they've been saying that for years. I don't know if we should really believe that or not. Point being, Ruby Rose Turner is an incredibly beautiful person, and I think Kylie Control really respects her for how beautiful she is. You can see that in her eyes. I've always loved Ruby Rose Turner. I've loved her ever since she was 12 years old. I saw her on Coop and Cammy Ask the World. Beautiful actress, beautiful, beautiful personality, and so much of an opportunity to create. She encouraged a lot of people to stand up to their dreams, stand up to their bullies, stand up for what you believe in, and I have all the respect in the world for her for doing that. I wasn't necessarily struck on her having an infatuation with Justin Bieber, though, and him wanting to buy her a TV, because that's what he did for Hailey Bieber, and I read a couple of weeks ago that Hailey Bieber's skincare program called Rhode is doing a phenomenal job, signed $1 billion deal. So now that Justin Bieber can be removed from the conversation, hopefully we can all start talking about Ruby Rose Turner more. But for the life of me, I don't know how you can do Descendants without Ruby Rose Turner. I know Keanu Romero is coming in to play Pink. That'll be Red's sister, and we can expect a lot of confliction. But we can't expect so much confliction because there are a lot of new cast members who are going to have to be introduced into the franchise, and how you do that is through the power of music. So there will be a lot of songs that we've never heard, a lot of lyrics we've never heard, and that will make for an incredible, incredible movie, an incredible franchise, which we can see so many expansions off of. Let me tell you this. There are 9 books in the Descendants franchise. There are still an incredible opportunity to create. I have never had the opportunity to drive a side-by-side through a rabbit hole, so I kind of would want to do that with probably Kylie Control driving it. Only memories I got from a side-by-side is when I was a little boy, and my friends got side-by-sides before I did, and we'd ride them up in the mountains. I was scared to death. I thought I was going to die. You don't know how scary it is actually driving a side-by-side up in a mountain. So I think I would prefer driving it through a rabbit hole, and I hope I get the opportunity to do it. Usually I record these videos in the nighttime, so it's a bit earlier I'm recording this video. I love recording them in the nighttime because it's very peaceful. It's really quiet here. Beautiful location, beautiful home. I found it a year ago, moved in here, started recording podcast videos, and you guys started subscribing to them. Usually I do them in the nighttime. Probably tomorrow's video will be recorded in the nighttime. I have so much fun putting together these videos for each and every one of you because I know each and every one of you appreciate these videos. You love them so much. And to be honest with each and every one of you, I love being here producing these videos for you. So if you could take a moment to hit my subscribe button, I would greatly appreciate it. I drank a lot of milkshakes today preparing my content, my thoughts on Descendants. There are a lot of really stupid videos about Descendants on the internet. I just want to put that out there. There are videos uploaded literally every minute, if not every single second, about Descendants. So I hope you don't watch those and you find this podcast amongst 500 thumbnails you may find on YouTube. Because if there's one thing I want to instill in each and every one of your minds, it's that forever does exist, happily ever after does exist, and no dream is ever unachievable in this life. If I couldn't instill that in your minds, then I feel like my purpose has never been fulfilled. I think life is a beautiful experience, and the chance to be there for each other should never ever be quit on. And I want to put it out there to each and every one of you that I will never ever quit on you. This podcast will always be here for you. I put so much money behind this podcast, it is unbelievable. $400 camera, $300 chair, a couple of laptops, a couple of hard drives, buying a new 5 terabyte hard drive this week. You're saying to yourself, where are you getting the money to do it? I don't know. I just buy stuff because I know that I want to put it behind this YouTube channel because that's what a YouTube creator has to do. If he wants to inspire other people to create YouTube, that is how you do it. And I like to believe that I aspire a lot of people to create YouTube because I do see a lot of Descendants and Zombies devoted YouTube channels. You may still have a long way to go, but that doesn't mean that you won't get there. Do I think that Dove Cameron will reprise her role as Mel in the Descendants franchise? I really don't know. Dove Cameron's pretty much closed the book on all of us and her now reprising rumors. I think that Ruby Rose Turner will return to Descendants 6 ever before we see Dove Cameron, but that's a whole different story for another podcast. I love when I see Descendants fan art popping up on Facebook every day. For the few hours I'm on Facebook every day, I see a lot of that stuff popping up, and I think you guys are incredibly talented, just as I think everybody subscribed to this YouTube channel is incredibly talented in your own way and never ever quit on your dreams. You know, I've been through a lot in my lifetime, and every single time, after everything I've had to endure, each and every one of you were here for me, and you were all I was ever left with. I want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for taking a chance on me and taking a chance on this podcast and clicking on it amongst 500 thumbnails you may find on the internet. This set is really updated from my original videos, and this YouTube channel is so much cooler than my original. Thank you so much for being here for me for the better part of the last 10 years and really making me the voice of Descendants and Zombies, because to be honest with you all, there is no place I'd rather be tonight than right here with each and every one of you. So let's spread some kindness by taking a look at this Descendants video. I found it today. I believe Ruby Rose Turner is in this video. I don't think it's as beautiful as the original Rapunzel video where she said she wanted to be Rapunzel if she could play any Disney character rather than her own. But I love showing videos with Ruby in them. I think she's in it. So what do you say we take a look at this? I think that's where they're singing different lyrics from different Descendants songs. Thought it was full of exuberance, kindness, love. And because I believe there is never enough love and kindness spread in this world, I think that we can make a difference to spread it on this YouTube channel. I think I have a frog in my throat. I have to check that out. Abracadabra. There we go. So because I believe there is never enough kindness spread in this world, abracadabra, stop laughing. What do you say we watch this video together? Don't forget to hit my subscribe button, by the way. Ring my bell to stay up to date with notifications. That way, when the notification bell lights up on your YouTube channel, you pull the menu down, you'll see that Jonathan Clarke uploaded a video. Not that anybody cares, I just thought you'd want to know that. Honestly, I respect you for being here. I love that you're here. I love that you're all Descendants and Zombies fans. And what do you say we watch this video together and spread kindness while we're at it? Pick up the phone after you watch this and tell that person you love that there's never enough kindness spread in this world, and tell them, hey, I just wanted to tell you that I loved you, just in case you didn't hear it today. Thank you so much, guys. Let's watch this video together.
Can we harmonize that?
Boy, it's mine. I need to give it up. Had it bad enough. It's not hard to see the boy is mine.
Woo! I don't know if we can use any of it, but I just wanted to hear it.
I just like
you. And your favorite Brandy moment?
Oh my gosh, my favorite Brandy moment. The funny thing is I actually never really even got to work with Rita, but Brandy was the only one that I ever met.
You never got to work with
Rita. I saw the back of Rita's like beautiful long hair. It was like, they were cutting her wig and it was like touching the floor at the time, and I remember passing her just being like but I met Brandy when I was doing some like promotional thing in Covington, and we were at a recording studio. And she had passed me in the hallway and like took my hands, and she was like, "Oh my God, it's so nice to meet you." I don't even know what I said to her. I probably was just like, but yeah, she's just like, oh, that angel, that voice, that aura.
Yeah. She got aura.
She got aura points.
Yeah. And for the
One thing I noticed is that the Descendants cast members, apart from every other cast, what separates them from every other cast, High School Musical, Zombies, what have you, is they love each other. And they love each other so much. And I respect them so much for that, because there were so many casts, like Hannah Montana years ago, that couldn't stand each other. For the first 100 episodes of Hannah Montana, Emily Osment, Miley Cyrus, if not for the first 100, the first 45, I'll say, couldn't stand each other. It wasn't until they shot the movie in 2009 and they went to see each other off set They started having a mutual respect for one another. So when I see a cast like Descendants loving each other so much and having so much respect for each other, I can never get enough of it. I almost instantly fall in love with that. That's why I've always wanted to be a director in a Disney series or a Disney movie, Disney franchise. But people like Kenny Ortega, Jennifer Fang beat me to it every single time. Meg Donnelly's beating it to me now. She's sitting in a production chair for Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, fighting alongside a Kung Fu Panda fighting chick. Her name is Nova. Let's see where we go from here. Zombies 4, Dawn of the Vampires, by the way, July 10th on Disney Channel, July 11th globally on Disney+. And I will be covering that for you. I just wish that movie wasn't seeing as much criticism of what it is. It hasn't even premiered. Let's give the movie a chance and see where we go from here. Believe you me, if there's anything I've ever wanted you to run away with on this YouTube channel is that dreams have the ability of coming true. Forever does exist, happily ever after does exist, and life is definitely sweeter when you all are. So what do you say we take this opportunity to go spread some kindness, and let's do that right about now. Thank you guys so much for supporting this YouTube channel. Don't forget to hit my like button, hit my subscribe button, and I'll be back again tomorrow night to instill dreams in all of your hearts and tell you that forever does exist. And there's never enough kindness spread in this world because that's the reality that we're faced with. I hate when you walk past somebody and you say hi to them and they don't say hi back. Drives me crazy. So what do you say we go spread some kindness right now? Bye YouTube. We will do it again in a couple of days.